You are wonderful, you're gifted, you're very smart and, and talented. However, you keep finding yourself stuck when it comes to implementing the ideas and visions that may come to you. So maybe you're someone who is feeling overwhelmed by the complexity or the number of ideas that you get, and you can never seem to implement because you don't know where to start. Maybe you're even frustrated because you've put a lot of work into something, but you're not really seeing the results that you desired when you first started to plan and assemble this idea and goal. Or maybe you're even the person who is just simply distracted. You have so many other responsibilities that you can't stay focused and execute on the current thing to which you're focused. The great thing for you is that I'm going to share with you today the right way to start, execute consistently, and finish any idea or goal that you set, whether it be in life, business, etc. My name is Maya Wilson, and I am a speaker, entrepreneur, and I'm a life and business strategist for high and multi-potential women who would like to have the structure, the strategy, and the framework to be able to accomplish the things, the big visions, then the multiple ideas that they come across. I give them the strategy, structure, and tools to be able to do that. So in my career, I worked within corporate America and I was on a team. And it started off, it was really just a two-person team where we were responsible for a lot of programs for the entire organization. And the great thing about this team was that we were always successful. And that was due to the fact that we always had a process, a system, or something like some type of strategy and framework in place that would allow us to execute all of these different projects and execute them successfully. Not to mention the projects were sometimes never even connected. So it wasn't always the same audience. It wasn't always the same goal. It was very varied, but regardless of what we did it and we did it successfully. There was one time when I was asked to do a war room, and this was a expedited and shortened hiring process to allow people to go through interviews, be hired and onboarded in a short, very, very short amount of time. Sometimes it even was 2 weeks. But the thing that happened when I had the responsibility of coming up was with that initiative was the fact that I had a strategy, a framework, something that could allow me to do it. And I actually did do it, and I did it very successfully. So I'm taking from that experience as well as a lot of the things that are just in my area of expertise, and I'm bringing to you the 5 things that you can do in order to start, execute, and finish any and everything that you accomplish. So I did take questions and I did ask people to share some of their struggles beforehand. So I do have some of that information and I will respond to it as I go along. However, if you have questions, if you have other things you would like for me to address, just simply add it and I will address it as you enter it. So here's what you need to do and why in order to start, execute, and finish any and everything that you decide to do, whether it be life, business, any idea or goal. Number 1 is set a clear goal. And the reason you want to do this is because you need to know exactly what you're looking to accomplish. You don't want to make it random or arbitrary, but you need to know what finished looks like. And the biggest thing that I can say around setting a clear goal is that I've seen where people will sometimes set a goal, but the goal does not actually match exactly what it is that they're doing. So when you have that goal and it's very clear, it allows you to know if you're executing in a manner that is in alignment with what it is you're looking to achieve. As an example, if you want to become a singer and you set the goal of, I want to learn how to sing. Now, if you go out and you take lessons, then you are accomplishing your goal. When you get to a point where you're confident in your singing, you have become a singer. But many times, if you've set that goal, you may also get mad and say, well, I'm not getting paid. I'm not being asked to sing. I'm not getting booked to sing. But that was not your goal. So when you have goals and they're very, very clear and you know what finish look like, you can actually execute in the manner that would allow you to achieve the desire versus just saying that you wanted to do X. But once you've truly accomplished it, now you're actually looking for other things that are not part of that result. So one of the things that was submitted around setting a clear goal was some people say that they're not sure where to start. And this is because you're not really sure of the things that are in your head. So when you have ideas and goals and businesses that you want to start, once you get them out of your head and onto paper, then you can kind of look at it and see where you need to start. But as long as it stays in your head, it's going to always just be there. The second thing that was submitted was being overwhelmed by too many ideas. And this is really where you need to clarify the goals. If you have multiple ideas, which is what a lot of multi-potential people have, is several different ideas, you need to be able to get them out, whether it be written or whether it be on the computer. Once you can see them, then you can start to look at what needs to go together, what needs to be separated, and it'll allow you to be very strategic around the different ideas and goals that you have. So number one was setting a clear goal. Number two is learn and research. Now, the reason you want to do this is because there is a very big myth. It is almost taught and ingrained in the way that we learn. And the myth is that if you build it, they will come. But when it comes to ideas and businesses, it does not work that way. So you want to learn and research in order to be able to be more strategic, not just saying you want to do something and then thinking that, oh, I've set the goal, I've put it out there, and now it's just going to automatically manifest. Doesn't really work that way. The second thing around doing the learning and the research is that you can get an idea of what it takes to achieve the goal. And then finally, it allows you to see how you can shortcut the process. Many times what you're looking to do has already been achieved, or something similar has been achieved. So when you're learning and researching, you can actually take note of the opportunities that exist so that you can invest. Anytime that you can invest in something where somebody is collapsing time or they're shortcutting the process for you, it is going to be a worthwhile investment. So one of the things that was shared around a struggle was not being able to sell a product or not really knowing people that are doing what you're doing. So it leads to a lot of discouragement. So when you do the learning and researching, it will help you overcome this, because many times a lot of entrepreneurs, especially new entrepreneurs and people that have very big visions, they will look to the people around them. Number one, they'll look to the people around them to help them. And number two, they'll look to the people around them to support them and to be able to buy and market and all those different things. But you really need to think beyond that. You need to do the learning and research to understand that whatever it is you're looking to do, move beyond your immediate audience in order to sustain what it is that you're doing. Learn from and grow with the people who are able to really stretch you and give you the capacity to bring your goal to fruition. So that was number two, learn and research. Number one was set a clear goal. Now, number three of what you need to do is plan. And I don't mean something like a simple business plan. And I don't want to say that really. I'm saying get a business plan, but I'm not saying do a traditional business plan. I want you to thoroughly plan around what it is you are looking to achieve. And the reason you're going to do this is because you're going to gather the details of what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and where it needs to be done. This will allow you to proactively avoid distractions. And if something does come along, then reactively, you can get back on track quickly. So a lot of times I'm someone who can spot bad planning like a million miles away. I can pick up on proactively when a plan is gonna hit a hiccup. And even when things happen in real time, I can usually tell that somewhere along the line, the plan was flawed. The most recent case or incident of this is with Popeyes. I think a majority of us know that Popeyes came out with the chicken sandwich and they pretty much sold out, ran out, and from my understanding, did not even have a plan of what to do, where to go, all of that. From what I have seen, the response has been, oh, we just didn't know. Now, when you have a big vision, you have ideas, you have a business, you never want to be in a situation where you're saying, I didn't know. So that is why you're going to plan and plan thoroughly, because it will allow you to account for risk. It will allow you to account for changes. It will allow you to do the different things you need to do in order to be very, very strategic about what it is you're looking to do. Now, one of the things that was submitted was staying focused. Like someone said that they struggle with staying focused. And most of the time, you struggle with staying focused because of the priorities. The other things that are competing for your time and your attention become a higher priority, but your planning will allow you to proactively address that. When you kind of have a timeline and a schedule of the things that need to be accomplished, you can account for distractions. Also, if you are someone who needs accountability, if you're someone who knows you're probably going to need a mentor or a coach, you can build that into your planning so that you have that and you have the proactive way of saying, okay, well, if I know that I'm not going to stay focused, then I have accountability. If I know that I'm really going to need XYZ, you can build that into your plan to prioritize and overcome being distracted. The second thing was the overwhelm by details. And a lot of times with high potential and multi-potential individuals, your ideas and your visions are just very, very big, and you think that you cannot accomplish it. But what you need to do is when you're planning, you can be able to see everything out on paper. So in your head, it looks like it's a lot, or it feels like it's a lot. Or even you may even know that it's going to take a lot of work. But once you get into the planning and you actually start to get it down and get it into a process and a framework, then you're able to take it and say, okay, this looks really, really big. This looks really, really small, but you have it all mapped out so that you can know where to execute, what to delegate, and things of that nature. Now, the third thing that was submitted was the starting and stopping. And most of the time when you start and stop, it's because you're not clear of what you need to do next. So when you have a plan, when you have a roadmap, it keeps you moving forward because you've already planned out what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and where it needs to be done. So that was number 3. You plan. Number 2, learn and research. And number 1, set a clear goal. Now, the fourth thing you do is execute. And this may sound very new and very strange to you, but it will save you so much time, effort, and frustration if you only execute after you have planned. Now, remember I said in your planning, you're going to pretty much get a roadmap of what needs to be done, where it needs to be done, and when it needs to be done. So when you have all of that mapped out and then you start to execute, your execution will be continuous because you always know what's next, what needs to be done. And even the steps that are maybe way ahead, you have something within your plan that says, oh, now you need to do this. It's 10 steps down the road, but you need to start now. So number 1 was set a clear goal. Number 2 was learn and research. Number 3 was plan. And then number 4 was execute. The 5th thing that you need to do is finish strong. And this goes back to number 1, where you set your clear goal. You're able to finish strong because you know what finish looks like. So once you hit the goal that you've set in the beginning, then you can celebrate. Then you can say, okay, done, over with, or on to the next thing. So those were the 5 things of what you need to do in order to start, execute consistently, and finish your ideas and goals. And that can be in life and or in business. You do number 1, set a clear goal. Number 2, learn and research. 3, plan. 4, execute. And 5, finish strong. Now you can take this information and hopefully you go out, you implement it, and you are successful with it. If you are someone who says that you just have something that is so big, you don't really have a framework or a structure in order to allow you to accomplish your goals, I like to invite you to a free discovery call where you can talk to me, and it's really allowing me to see if the programs and things that I offer would be a good fit for you and the idea that you are looking to implement. You can go to rebrand.ly/call with Maya. And of course, my name is spelled MIA. So again, that's rebrand.ly/call with Maya, MIA. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to that link, and it's a short assessment that will allow me to get a good understanding of where you are, what you're looking to do, the struggles you're facing, and then be able to see what I have to offer that would be of value to you. So you can take the assessment. You will get an email that will allow you to schedule the time with me. And when we talk, I'll give you recommendations on what you're facing. And I'll also offer to you something that could be beneficial to you in bringing your idea or your goal into fruition. So that's the information for today. Take it, be great, go out, implement, get a plan, execute, and finish strong. I'll talk with you soon.